So you shared your awakening experience. We talked a little bit about how the whole ancestor stuff goes. It can get deep. We could be spending a few hours on that one alone.
Oh, girl, yeah, alone.
So what I want to get into now is, what is chaos magic?
Welcome to the Me Middleton Show, a place to encourage neo-spiritualists to laugh, love, and learn, while we virtually walk through topics of the spiritual, magical, natural, and occultic worlds. I am your host, Evina. You have now entered the Me Middleton Show.
All right, so let me tell you. Chaos magic is kind of looked at like a couple of different things. Some people look at it like it's like the whole Aleister Crowley, William P. Manley type of work, ceremonial magic, which it is to a certain extent. My way of working ceremonial magic is I use a lot more of old occult like Kabbalah mysticism and mixing that along with and within, and this is something we've always done anyway, within hoodoo, okay, and with whatever else I'm working. Most people like to look at it as, like I said, the Aleister Crowley, but true chaos magic is that, basically. It's chaos. It's using various types of magic, maybe not even the same thing twice, maybe not even the same method or using the same powers twice, and using it to command in an authoritative way spirits, angels, demons, whatever. For me, I started out with chaos magic in its so-called European sense of true form, being the Aleister Crowley, being the William P. Manley, using the Liber Null, the Necronomicon, and things of that nature, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So in doing so, what we see and what it gave us, what was given us in these books, is not the pure form. So let me back up now. So the reason why I became interested in that form of chaos magic to begin with was because back in, many years back when everybody, and a lot of people still now are on that Illuminati thing. Oh, that's the Illuminati. Oh, why do you have that owl? Oh, that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, why is it
the triangle, that scary triangle.
Girl, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that eye. Why do you have that eye?
Eye on, yeah.
Like, what? So my whole thing was because intuitively, I'm looking at these things and I'm like, this is ancient Egyptian symbolism.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ancient Egyptians migrated to Nigeria. The ancient Egyptians are Nigerian. And they also traveled to Central Africa as well. Those are the original Egyptians. So with my knowledge of that, it was like, I need to know more about this. So I became initiated through Tahuti Lodge in New York City and would participate in all of those rituals and things of that nature because I was working towards trying to get to the base of what they were using of ours to put themselves in the position that they are now. Within the Wicca and this and that, they're on some harm none. Even some, practitioners within hoodoo and things like that, they're on that as well. But when you get down to the whole of the law, it's not about harm to none. It's about, you're not going to harm any because what it is very humanistic. Okay?
Right.
It's very I. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for yourself.
Right.
I self, Lord and Master,
right.
Law and Master. I mean, it's very much that. So that's what set me on that path. The thing that made me start to kind of step away is, well, not all the way away, was really recognizing and realizing the truth of the matter. Practicing, doing the rituals. I felt like, I'm doing an awful lot here that is not totally pure. So then I ventured out into true sense of chaos magic. The true sense of chaos magic is, like I said before, it's using various schools of magic, but you can't just do it without knowing the schools. You can't say, okay, I'm getting ready to make E5 with with Wicca. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you gotta tell some shit. No,
right.
dude, don't. That's not recommended.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So you have to get to the point where you have really learned and are well versed and commanded certain areas. So for me, using things like the seal of Jupiter, any Solomonic seal, sigils especially, but the Kabbalah end of them, and blending them with especially hoodoo, amazing. Because see, what we have to remember is those sigils and those seals that are so-called Jewish, I mean, you know, a Hebrew Israelite will tell you quickly.
Girl. Girl.
Who those really belong to?
Yeah, they ain't ready. Well, my audience is ready, but them other folks, they ain't ready.
So when you get into seeing these Kabbalistic seals, and dealing with these energies, dealing with these demons, angels, whatever you want to call them, I mean, it's the same thing. It's commanding energy. And even dealing with jinn, I work with jinn as well, a lot, and different energies. I mean, dragon energies I work with a lot, fairy energies not so much, because that's just, my energy is just kind of too heavy for them. They will come, but my energy is just too heavy for them. You have to be, like, your diet has to be really vegan. You know, it doesn't have to be, but for me, I have to be like damn near vegetarian for them to fuck with me. Wow. For them to be able to work with me.
Your shit heavy as hell then, good Lord.
Yeah, it is heavy. My energy is really, really heavy. Like, really, really heavy. But that's because, again, the entities that I choose to work with, I choose to work with demons.
Yeah, fairies don't too much fuck with that shit. Yeah, they.
Yeah, and that's because of my bloodline, though.
Understood.
Within my bloodline, like you were talking about with your bloodline. With my bloodline, it was Ochosi and Jinn. And on my mother's side, it was demon lineage and jinn that they work with. So for me, it's easier for me to work with those. But at the same time, the chaos comes in for me with that is because I still am roots. Like, I still work with herbs heavily. I still work with oils and create them heavily. You know what I'm saying? Spoken spelling. You know what I'm saying? Doing spell work without candles, speaking things into existence, utilizing those energies and entities to speak them into existence, going outside, standing in the grass while I ground myself, while I work with these energies and energies so that everything is balanced. It's very powerful work. And I haven't ever really been in this on the page to use this. I'm going to use my powers for evil, like to gain wealth or to be a millionaire or anything like that. I've not ever used that energy for that, just because my mind wasn't there. For me, it was like you said before, I'm like really into the research of it all. So it was never for that purpose. Now, at this stage in my life, I'm kind of looking at things differently because I'm looking at the socioeconomic situation of what's going on in the world around me, and if I want to stay here in the States or if I want to go to Africa, what I want to do. Still trying to figure that out. So I think I'm getting ready to start moving in a different direction with this. But with the chaos magic, the other thing I love about chaos magic is because you can just go by what your spirit leads you to do. If I'm doing, say, some love work for a client and all of a sudden I'm led to use, because I've been known to do this for clients that are not in town, send me some tissue with your blood on it. I'm not talking about menstrual either. I swear to God, I'll hurt somebody if they send me that shit.
That's not funny.
Use that, a playing card, a candle, a sigil, and burn that shit. Put it in a bucket. and speaking words of power over it in the smoke, while the smoke, and then watching the smoke form and reading the formations of the smoke.
I ain't did that in years.
You know, and see, that's what I'm saying. See, there's things that we do and that we done that we forget, but sometimes we got to bring that old stuff back. So that's when the chaos magic comes in, because you take what the old, you bring it with the new stuff that you've learned, and then something you might get a wild hair, and spirit might tell you to do something else. That's true chaos magic. Chaos magic is not something, you know, that you study. It's something that you create.
Well, all forms of magic, you just can't be just reading and think you some kind of fucking expert. No, practical application is what, and consistency, not just doing it a couple of times, and I'm a witch. Nah, baby. And you got to do this shit like a lot, consistently with study. Don't just be up and just blindly just doing stuff. And even if you have an emotional or energetic reading, you know, if you are led to do something and they're telling you how to do these things, fine, but don't be solely on that. You have to do your research. You have to marry the two. You have to be able to marry the educational part and the practical application part. You got to do the work.
These people, you know, people be making these circles or doing lesser banishing rituals or the pentagram and this and that. I don't do that. I used to.
So was that like your gateway drug?
It's not necessary for me to do that anymore.
So was that level of magic, was that like your gateway drug? Was that like the beginning? Did you start off with that?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That was my weed.
Yep.
Although weed was never, just want to be very clear, as long as I have smoked marijuana, and I've done that almost, over 20 years, it has never led me to any other drug. Just want to be very clear. People talking about, marijuana is a gateway drug, but anyway, that's beside the point. But, you know, Wicca, that kind of, you know, that kind of magic, utilizing Wicca, and...
Now, I'm going to tell you something. For me, personally, with the Wicca, I tried, but it so did not, like, I remember this though. Isis Astarte Diana, Hecate Mita Kali, Anana. That was the chant, girl. But I could only, and you notice who our chants, all dark goddesses.
Yeah, I say.
You get what I'm saying?
I say.
That was it. You have to flow with your spirit. You know, I feel like people like get caught up in these things because, that hand pass is more powerful than right. It ain't no hand. It's a path.
Girl, look.
If you take that path how you feel, which best suits you. I've had clients, you know, and people that I have been taught, that I've mentored, and they be like, oh, girl, I don't know. I don't want to do that. And then 6 months later, yo, fuck that nigga. What was that you said to me? I need that class.
Oh, I know that all too well. Yes.
Oh, no, I don't. I just want to be, you know, love and light. A black candle? Oh, I don't.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, girl, it's just about, I'm not ready for that. Girl, 6 months later, they be like, so do I need to, how do I cut his throat? How do I cut his throat? Like, you know what?
Right. They get all Little John and the East Side Boys on your ass all of a sudden.
But it's,
at the club.
Girl, but that's how you have to go, and that is how I do. Like, I can, you know, and that's the other thing I like, too, about dealing with Kabbalistic words of power and things, because I can do a whole ritual and not have to light no fire. I can be anywhere, in any situation, and I need an emergency shit popped off. I can throw some words of power out there.
See, well, people have to really understand that you are your first tool.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't need to be going around spending money, especially when you ain't got it. You know, there's so many people that get into this and it's like, but can you do the work for me? I don't have the money for this and I need it. You're your first tool.
That's the truth. But then, too, your energy has to be right. I have a client right now who's about to be fired because your energy has to be in line and in tune with the outcome that you're looking for.
Ooh,
I don't care what form of recreating and creating in this universe you use. If you are not melded to your outcome, you can't have an outcome that you want to be like, okay, this is an example. I'm going to just put it out there. I feel like he's still cheating, but he's not. Sis, I'm going to have somebody else do it. You're my girl, and I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm going to have somebody else read it. Go on, do what you do. Spend your money how you want to spend it. Had 3 other people do it, and then called the California Psychics line on top of that. I'm like, girl. 4 different people that told her this man is not cheating. Well, he used to cheat on me in the past, and I just can't believe. I just see something going on. I just know something going on. Something going on. I just know something going on. If you keep with that energy, no matter what anybody does for you, your outcome is not going to be as strong as it could be. Now, I've maintained this man to be, to be true to her and not cheat and all of that cute stuff, but she keeps putting an energy out there that's going totally against what she wants. You can't do a work for yourself and doubt the work.
Before you started.
Before you even started.
Yep.
Some people don't believe that you can just use words of power. Some people believe you got to go through this whole theatrical affair. Like I said initially, when that day that my husband called me a witch, I had not an oil, not a nothing. It was just a candle and a piece of paper with lines on it. No, not what's that, paper bag, none of that, no white paper, no parchment, none of that. It was a piece of paper from a spiral notebook.
Right.
But it was the intention and the fact that I was driven. I know, fuck this. We going out here. These kids are going to have fun, and the grass is going to be dry, and this man going to shut the fuck up and have fun his damn self. I feel like for me, Chaos Magic, it's a challenge for me. It's a challenge to put the right aspects of everything together for the outcome that I want. And this is the trick with it, though. It's about, because at the end of the day, I'm going to get the outcome that I want. But it's about the speed.
Come on now. Oh, my God. Come on now. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be interrupted because I just had a conversation with somebody about the speed. So I got a friend. She calling me, telling me she's homeless. And I'm going to give her the keys of what to do. Okay, this is what you're going to do. Boom, 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 A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I'm telling her to go do this. And then next thing you know, go do that. But you got to hurry up and do that. And I'm telling her, like money, how money likes, it likes speed. It doesn't like stagnation. It don't like procrastination. It flows. It moves. It got to move like electricity.
Exactly.
Like currency. That's the currency is electricity. And electricity moves way too fast for my blood. And that's how money got to move. It moves fast. It don't like stagnation. It don't like slowness. So that means you need to move. She ain't moved, and the money's still getting slow, and she's still kind of homeless, and that's something else though. But I just had that conversation. You got to move. You got to move. It likes movement.
You got to move. That's that speed, and it's that heat
urgency
that you put on it because it makes it heavy.
Yes.
And you got to be urgent. Because some people say, some spiritualists say, oh, you can't be sad or crying. You got to keep your energy this way. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Come on, Mama.
When you are in your feelings,
come on, Mama.
It's going to move, and it's going to move damn quickly.
Yes,
because you're tired. You don't want this no more. This situation ain't working for you no more. And you're feeling it in your gut, and you got a guttural cry going, and you just can't take it no more. And if this ever happens again, and this is what I'm not going to do, and this is what I'm not going to put up with, and this is what I will have, and this motherfucker is going to go.
Come on. Come on.
Are you kidding? You think it ain't getting ready to move?
But see, that's a difference though with that shit. I just moved
something just then because I just felt a release.
I did too from you because I'm over here having church with you. I felt that too. But here's something about that though. There's a difference between those two similar energies. Although it's all in like a seemingly negative space, I'm sad and woo. If it's not in motion, I don't give a fuck what you're calling it. Oh, I'm sad or oh, I'm angry. But if it's not in, that's what they're trying to illustrate. Don't be sad. Don't be. No, I encourage be sad. Be mad, bitch. Turn the fuck up. But let it be some motion. Let it be some motion.
But where do they come up with telling these people to be emotionless? Don't have emotion. You can't have an emotion now when you do this. Are you crazy?
Sometimes you gotta flip some furniture around for some shit to happen.
I'm like, how do you not have emotion and you're putting a spell together? And you're pushing energy. If you're pushing energy with no emotion, then you're not pushing energy.
Come on.
So what you telling these people that for? So they can go ahead and keep using you? No, I don't want people to use me. I want you to learn from me and get the fuck on, because people get on my nerves after a while. I don't want to be your lifetime root worker. That's not why I'm here.
Oh.
I know. I'm not that person. I don't know. No. I want you to learn. And it's so funny. A lot of the clients I get are people who have actual quick natural ability, and they just don't know how to harness it and how to use it. And I'm all for pushing your ass to learn. No, you're gonna do this. Okay, when you're cooking this, speak this into the pot. When you cook that food for yourself or for your children or for that man.
I told my client about taking a spiritual bath, and it was a lot of things that need to be removed from her. So when I was telling her about this removal bath, right, that what she has to, how she got to behave, I said, there's a certain thing you got to do in the bathtub. You got to behave a certain way. She said, I got to act out something. I said, yes, bitch, it's time for you to put your actor's mask on. So I was telling her to get, to be repetitive. The one thing that puts you in a hypnotic spell is repetition, saying things over and over again, because what's going to end up happening, you're going to be in that space of remembering the shit that pissed you off in the first place, the shit that got you in the tub in the first place, the shit that got you in this emotional state in the first place. And see, that's when you start feeling the energy, because shit is being said over and over again, like me saying in the first place, how you was mad in the first place, why you was in that tub in the first place, or why they got shit, the motherfucker that got you pissed off in the first place, the shit that got you crying in the first place. I need you to revisit those energies and start rocking in that tub. Start talking about the things that made you mad in the first place. Start talking about the things that got you stuck in the first place. And when you go into repetition and you start thinking about those things in the tub, that's when your power is coming out of you and things are now being set into motion.
The catalyst. The catalyst.
That's it.
That's the catalyst. And see, that's the same thing like when working with the Goysha, when working with the demons and things like that I love to do so much. I set the stage for them. And I get their sigils and I call them by name and I speak to them and then I command them on what needs to be done and I send them on their way. And there's a camaraderie there. I have a whole attitude, girl, when I come out of come out of a ritual with them. What did you talk? What?
Yes, ma'am.
Like you? What? What?
Yes, ma'am.
Girl, I'm Megan Thee Stallion and myself times 10.
Oh, you know who my favorite is? It's Cardi B. I love that bitch so much. I love Cardi B so much. Yes. Oh, I be cranking up that Get Up 10. I be cranking up that press. Oh my goodness, that's my shit. Don't let me go into war mode.
No, when I made me mention Megan Thee Stallion, because she advertising for Popeye's chicken now, which was weird to me. But anyway, I digress. But
you can see my face. Did you see my face? We're not even on video, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see my face?
Oh, girl, yeah, they got her in a whole cowboy get up. With like a sex, with the little bikini thing going on, but with the cowboy boots and the cowboy hat type.
But you digress. I'm not gonna entertain.
Yeah, I digress. But anyway, girl, you got to see this shit. I'm gonna send you a commercial when we finish talking.
Okay.
Anyway, it puts me in a whole state of being, not a state of mind, but in a state of being. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when you're invoking them, trust me, I do not invoke these motherfuckers. I may every now and then Lilith or something, but I'd be cool about invoking some spirits, because that shit, you know, you got to be careful with that.
Ooh, you trust me? I know.
Girl,
I talked about it in one of these episodes about Prince Phil.
Girl, I invoked Sekhmet one time and almost couldn't get her gone. She was liking my little housing. Girl, I was about to dye my hair red and everything. I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute, bitch. It was a mess, but, you know, you take on that energy, and that's the same thing when you talk about rocking in the tub. You take it on that energy. You're taking on that power. See, I used to get mad because people be like, oh, you got to be like Christ. No, the fuck, I don't have to be like Christ. I got to be like me. You have to walk in your own power.
Come on.
You have to know that you're powerful. You have to not look outside of yourself. You're not looking for salvation. You are your own salvation.
Come on.
So whatever you decide to work with, whatever entity, energy, whatever you're working with, even if you're using a Bible verse, that's your energy.
Come on.
And unless there's some energy and some feeling and some emotion behind it, there's no energy.
You got to look at the I'm not talking about you directly, but you got to, like, thinking about Psalms, right? The book of Psalms. And I look at some of those, because everybody knows that there ain't nothing but a book of spells.
And girl, trust me, when I went to jail, I found that out.
When you're reading some of those Psalms, was supposed to be songs. There was one of them I was reading. This nigga here, don't get me in line which one it was, but this nigga here, he wants revenge. He's talking about smacking somebody, sending them to hell, to have the accident happen to them, taking shit away from them. But as I'm reading it, thinking in an ancient text, but just like imagining the emotion behind the person who said these things initially. Right, like I can imagine them in tears and rocking back and forth and in a deep emotional state.
Absolutely. Has to be an emotional state. Because if you're not in an emotional state, nothing's going to move.
Come on.
Just like you said, it's a whole spell book. You can go to that thing and see what it is. And look at those verses. What the problem is the Bible was taught to be looked at like, oh, these are parables or these are examples. No. You know, I tell people this all the time. You know, I'm going to be so tripped on this Bible, but y'all be skipping the verses that mean something. What he said, and these works ye shall also do.
Come on. Ooh. They skipped over that one, huh?
You know, a lot of people don't know this either. Jesus of Nazareth, right? Well, the Nazarenes, if you really research the Nazarenes, they were highly powerful mystics. Yeah.
Which was the reason why that little 12-year-old boy, Jesus, was able to outmaster the masters in Egypt when he went to school for mysticism.
And then people don't understand that. He was in school for mysticism, exactly. So when they see the talking donkeys and they mention the Witch of Endor, which is kind of funny to me because I think about Samantha on Bewitched, her mother name was Endora.
Sure enough was.
The Bible was the Witch of Endor. I think Peter went to talk to get the information because God wasn't talking to him. So since God wasn't talking to him, he went to go visit the Witch of Endor.
Wow.
And talk to her to get the information he needed.
I
ain't put them together. God. Don't get me started.
I ain't put them together. Thank you for sharing that one.
Did you enjoy? Ooh, I hope you did. Did you think this was the end of my conversation with Auntie Conjure? Oh, nay, my friends. There is actually a fourth and final part to our dynamic conversation. In part 4, Auntie Conjure talks about 1, how to manifest with your ancestors. 2, how to create changes in your life through chaos magic. 3, voluntary and involuntary sacrifices. 4, your defense team. 5, finding spiritual paths respectfully. And 6, she gives 3 simple spells to use immediately. Banishing spell, change their mind spell, and domination spell. But in order to get that episode, you have to be a Patreon member. Click on the link, become a patron member, so that you can help the Me Middleton Show become bigger and better, bringing you more content, better graphics. So just click on the Patreon link, or you can reach out to me at www.helpbyevina.com. Also, I'm hosting a workshop, and the next upcoming workshop will be coming around the end of 2021, so that you will know how to find your gifts and how to develop them. And you can start off 2022 on the correct foot in your spiritual journey. Want to know more about getting into the workshop? Send me an email at helpbyevina@gmail.com or leave a message at www.helpbyevina.com. Did you enjoy? Ooh, I hope you did. Did you learn anything? I hope you gained a great wealth of information. Did this episode leave you with questions? I hope you got plenty of those too. Send your questions to memiddleton@gmail.com. You never know, your question just might be the next topic on the Me Middleton Show. What would you like to see on the Me Middleton Show? Do you have any suggestions? Send them over to memiddleton@gmail.com, and I'll be super happy to read your suggestions. If you're listening in on Podbean, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform, please leave a comment. If you're listening in on YouTube, leave a comment, click on the like button, click subscribe, and click on the notification bell to be notified of all uploaded videos. Check out my website at www.helpbyevina.com. That's HELPBYEVENAH.com. View merchandise, get a consultation, and listen to all episodes of The Me Middleton Show. And remember, proper prior planning practically promotes persistent productivity and proud, pristine performances. Now, go practice your craft and perform. Until next time.